Today's sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
You must be dreaming. Shoot.
To throw on 2nd down, Lawrence. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And able to haul it in is Kittle.
Get ready.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. This is McCaffrey. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that carries over to this week as well.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah. For the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That's to his running back, complete. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Get it.
Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Good job.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. The numbers from last week for Hilton. 8 catches, 93 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now here's a throw that's taken in by Tajay Sharp. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
58 to Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Breeze again. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
That's what I'm talking about, boy.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Christian McCaffrey, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Breeze complete to Hilton. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They will run it. It's McKissick. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Here I come. Here I come.
Ready? From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And Sanders has got it complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Lawrence. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 10. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
65.
Topper!
To throw again, Lawrence. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Breeze now.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Breeze to throw. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Breeze. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Here's Moore on the return. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bears take over. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. George Kittle as the first half is winding down as the Bears push further out in front. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Breeze now to throw. That's complete to Sharp. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returning it is Moore. A great return there of 22 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over.
You ready?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ready.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And an alley to run. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. DeForest Buckner forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. But now it's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Bears push further out in front. Boy, what a job there. 4th down that far away from the end zone just to get it in, get that done.
An unlikely result, but it occurred nonetheless. What a terrific play. Great way to finish and in the end zone.
And the defense has to be scratching their heads, right?
That's usually to their advantage. In that situation, they should be able to make a play on the ball, but instead it turned out to be a touchdown, and they've got to go figure it out on their sideline.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Colts coming out now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete here. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They find some open field here. The 40. He's at the 30. 10, touchdown, Chicago. Christian McCaffrey with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts getting ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now the throw on 3rd down. Knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. So well done there. These punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Off play action. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
It's our time. It's our time.
Throwing again. Lawrence. Green brings it in.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
On 2nd and 10. Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Breeze. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Again, McCaffrey. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Here we go.
One final try here for Breeze. He's going to let it into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he will be out of bounds here with zeros on the clock as this ball game is over. So this one in the win column for the Chicago.